What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon, or just Fires of Rubicon. I always say the, and I know it's not part of the title, but welcome to this new Let's Play. Now, I implore you to please watch the reveal video that was released last Friday, so that you guys get an understanding of how this Let's Play is going to be recorded, because, as you saw in the intro, From Software made this game, and thus this game will require 3 full playthroughs to get to the true final boss, because I would go on and on about it for about 10 minutes, so if you want to watch the intro video, reveal video, to see how this Let's Play is going to be recorded and laid out, I will leave a link in the description as well as a card in the upper right about now, so you guys can go and take a look at that video. But this is a game I really loved when it came out in 2023, won Action Game of the Year, I believe, at the Game Awards that year as well, and I've been looking for like a single-player focused mech game, which is exactly what this game is. Now, quick little preface before we do get into it is I have no other knowledge of Armored Core beyond this game, so for those of you who would like to enlighten me more about Armored Core, please provide your comments in the description. But I'm really excited to bring this game to you guys. It's a game that I really enjoy, and don't worry, for my original save file, I've already saved it. I just ended up going in and deleting the save file that I currently have, and then just back that save file up, and then just disabled the cloud, so we are good to roll. So without further ado, folks, let's hop right into Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
Handler Walter verified. Activating cerebral coral control device. Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
Time to get to work, 621. I'm powering down your entry capsule. On my signal. Now, activate the AC.
Descent to ISB 2262. Rubicon 3 complete.
Your position is grid 135. Off target, but within permissible range. There's a catapult ahead. Use it to close the gap.
Main system activating combat mode.
Alrighty, folks, welcome to Armored Core 6. So we're gonna get into the little tutorial here. I'm playing with controller. You can obviously play this with with keyboard and mouse, but I'm playing it with controller because it's more comfortable. So yes, so some actions consume energy. They're disabled when energy is depleted. Your energy bar is at the bottom, that long bar at the bottom, as you can see in the upper left. So yeah, pretty cool there. Close that. You can press B, so when you're standing like this, you can walk forward simply, but pressing B will activate your jets, and then you can move forward like this. Yes, and you can do this as well. So you can move the camera around with the right stick, and then you hold your right trigger, or sorry, your right bumper to just target things with whatever, you know, weapon that you may have equipped, if it's a targetable weapon. So I'll show you how this works. So what I can do, you can multi-lock as well. You can multi-lock as well by doing all this, and then you can just shoot. Just press the right bumper. Yep, you can move around. Yes, and target assist. So this is kind of like that zoom, like that lock-on feature for like anything Dark Souls or Elden Ring or something like that. You know, any of those Soulsborne games. And the idea here is I guess a major difference if you're coming from like Dark Souls or something like that is that when it comes to this targeting system, it's much less forgiving when it comes to keeping an eye on the target. You really have to also move the camera a good bit. But yes, it helps keep you locked on, but it won't keep you as like locked in as say something like Elden Ring or Dark Souls. So yep, you can deactivate it if you want, but yes, here we go. So then we can use the right trigger to shoot our gun that we have in our right hand as well. Yep, and I just showed you the multi-lock, which is just going to explain right there. Like so. So we can multi-lock onto a ton of stuff. These guys should die in one hit. Do this, and this as well. And then we can shoot this guy. Now you can press X to dodge, so depending on which way you're moving, so say we're standing here, you can just press X like this, and you can dodge in pretty much any direction. You can dash forward, you can dash backward. Another thing they'll also show you, well, actually we'll just wait for a second to show that off, because they'll have a tutorial for it, so press Y to access this, and we can keep going. Yes, so to repair your AC, so in the bottom left here, we have our...
AC's taking damage. Patch it up.
So in the bottom left here, we have the armor points, which is basically your health, the amount of repair kits you have below that, and then your scan cooldown timer, and then expansion, we'll talk about that later. But to use a repair kit, just press up. Yep, and then we can repair. Very
Contaminated city down there. That's where you're landing.
Very similar to
the catapult.
Very similar to the potions that you would get in Elden Ring or something like that. So, as you can see, this game is gorgeous. I love how this game looks. It's gritty, dark, very, you know, like it's just really good looking.
Time to fly, 621. If we get our hands on Rubicon's coral, we'll make a killing. Plenty for a merc with a fried brain like you to buy their life back. Enough chat, back to work. Scavenge the AC wrecks ahead and find a valid mercenary license. We're illegals here. You'll need ID to operate.
Yep, so quick boost, like I mentioned, you can absolutely just dodge, and that's all it's saying is, the other thing, too, is you have 4 slots for weapons, both in both hands, and then you have one in each of your shoulders. So your right trigger will activate your right-hand weapon, your left trigger will activate your left-hand weapon, your right bumper will activate your right shoulder weapon, and your left bumper will activate your left shoulder weapon. So, so far, right now, we do not have a left shoulder weapon, I don't think, so we are just stuck with 3 weapons, but there's a lot of different customization things that you can do, which is why I love this game so much. It's really, like, they give you a ton of parts that you can buy and stuff like that, and then you can just customize your AC to your liking eventually, and you'll see that, and this is just really cool. But these are the basics so far, so let's get into fighting some random people.
An AC! Where the hell did that come from?
So that's a melee weapon.
Guerrillas from the Liberation Front. They'll get in the way of our work. Eliminate them.
Alright, so now that we did that, what you noticed is I did like a slash, which I completely missed, by the way, but that is a melee weapon, and there are plenty of those in the game, and they do a lot of damage, and usually the times you want to use your melee weapons, generally speaking, not all the time, it's situation to situation, is when enemies are staggered. What you'll notice is that we have a stagger bar in the bottom. You can see that little yellow bar that kind of starts to fill up whenever I get hit. That's a stagger bar, and not only do we have it, but all enemies have it as well, and especially like the higher health enemies, it'll make a difference. Essentially, once you get that stagger bar full and you're able to get it all the way full to yellow, it will stagger an enemy, and then you and then they will take, I think, like double damage or something like that. But right now we have the assault boost, which is essentially like our jet booster that you can just fly at targets. You can fly towards a certain location. This is going to be one of the most important, like, useful features that we have in mechanics. So definitely get used to using this, and not just for traversing, but in combat as well. So let's show it off. So as you can see, it uses a lot of energy. As you can see, it uses a lot of energy, but yeah, very useful. You can also dodge while you're doing it as well. You recharge energy, by the way, by just landing and not using anything, or just like floating down. You know.
That's the AC from the report. Find out who the report is
Looks like they've got shields. Think you could blade.
Yep, and like Walter said, using melee weapons on shielded enemies is generally the way to go.
Extract the pilot data. I'll analyze it from my end.
License code extracted from an AC wreck in a contaminated city. Pilot registration RB18. Thomas Kirk. Call sign Thomas Kirk. Rank 26E. Affiliation independent. License is expired. So we won't be able to use this one.
This one's already expired. Keep looking.
Long story short, you can already tell we're essentially fugitives. We're going to be a paid mercenary.
What?
Mystery! We've got something good! Get out of there! You can handle them!
That's the PCA's planetside force. Keep a low profile. We don't want them breathing down our necks. Analyzing.
Alright, scanning another one. License code extractor, the AC wreck. RB29, call sign G7, Hakara, rank 22D, Balaam Industries. License expires, so it's about to expire. We can't use it.
Corp license. Easily traced. Forget it.
Yep, the PCA, we'll run into them a lot, and you'll see what they are about. This game is very corporation government run. That's how this game is, and you'll see how it is. As with most mech, like whether it's a show, an anime, you know, anything involved with mechs always involves the government to a certain extent. We got helicopters here too. These guys are really just poopers. Don't really care all that much about them. I'll show you the dodging, by the way, here, since we have the ability to. So here, how you can dodge while you're... The other thing too, when you're assault boosting, you can press the assault boost button again to melee. Let's see if I can show that off. Oh, I guess I can't right here.
Ask questions later.
Deal with them, 61.
Boom, boom. Easy peasy. Not too bad. I think, yeah, I got some more helicopters here, so not bad. Those guys will be easily dealt with. Nice. Okay, cool. We're schmoovin'.
Stoffung and Schneider are on the move. Grid won't be safe. Corp AC.
Is that an independent? Destroy it!
We're outnumbered, 621. Use your missiles.
Wow, I completely whiffed that. We're not talking about that. Come on. Alright. Easy. That guy's dead. That one should be dead easily. And I think I hear... Yeah. Alright.
Let's see about this license.
Hopefully this one's good. License code, let's see, registration RB37, call sign Monkey Gordo, independent, license expires. Well,
It's still valid, but the pilot's rank is no good. We can't use this. Expect a rank 621. Transmitting marker. Go and check it out.
alright, got one more to go. Looks like we got a ton of boys up there that we have to deal with, but not too bad. Also, one thing to note, when you run out of ammo or something like that, you just lose the weapon entirely. Like, it's also, this game is also partly a lot of resource management as well, so want to be careful with the amount of stuff you use. These catapults, very simple. All you have to do is land on them and then just press A and then you'll just get launched. So you can see how this,
You can use that for
Yep, so press A, launch. Very nice. Now we're going to assault boost over this way. Land here.
That's it. Try accessing the wreck.
Yep. Alright, one more wreck.
Registration number RB23. Rank is the mid. Call sign. What?
Alright.
Looks like they were onto you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now, they won't have enough to ID you.
My children.
Welcome to our first boss. Everyone has trouble with this, especially if this is your first, like, From Software game. It's really not that bad. You just gotta use your assault boost. That's what a lot of people forget to use. Yep. Not too bad. Just make sure to use your assault boost and stuff. Duck behind cover if you have to. You can see the... Ow. Well, for our first boss, yeah, that was fun. Anytime I lose against a boss, I'll just end up restarting. But that's fine, man. I guess I wasn't paying attention to my health. I'm usually confident in beating this the first time. Oh, that bodes well for the rest of this.
Try accessing the wreck.
Okay.
Registration number RB23.
It'll come from this way.
Rank fits the bill.
There he is. Come here, idiot. Yeah, that was my bad. I called it easy and then I died on it. Okay. Trying to get it stat. Ow. There we go. Nice. Boom, boom. Alright, yeah, this is, yeah, you can see, now I'm doing it. I don't know why I screwed up there. Nice. Should be dead here. Boom! Very nice. Our first boss. Defeated. Not too bad. I just was dumb. I wasn't paying attention to my health.
Heavy combat helicopter is down. That's all for our work here today, 621. Here's the call sign from that license you picked up.
License code extracted from AC Iraq. Registration number RB23. Call sign Raven. Rank F. Affiliation independent. License expires in 3 days.
Raven. That's your new name here on Rubicon.
Alrighty, folks. Our first mission is complete. Not too bad at all. So what you'll see is that we get paid based on, like, you're essentially going to get paid in credits based on the amount of ammo you use, how damage that you've taken, repair kits and stuff like that. You can see paid in, base pay. There's bonus pay for like bonus objectives, the expenses, which include the repair costs and the ammo costs, and then eventually you get to replay these missions, and then you get graded based on this. So basically, doing these missions perfectly will reward you with higher ranks as we are able to replay these. But yeah, we're pretty good so far. 139,000, not too bad.
Coral, a sublime substance. Discovered on Rubicon, a planet on the frontier of developed space. For a time, coral was a revolutionary energy resource and data conduit, poised to transform human society by leaps and bounds. They called it the Fires of Ibis, a storm of flame that tore through the stars, contamination in its wake. Coral, the kindling, was thought to have been utterly consumed, forever lost. However, on Rubicon, the embers continued to burn. Humanity would inevitably return to stoke the fire.
Registration number RB23. Call sign Raven. Authentication complete. Removing MIA status. Restoring access privileges. This is Allmind, the mercenary support system. Welcome back, Raven.
Looks like you passed the authentication. Raven. That's who you are now, here on Rubicon. I've picked up some work for you already. Take a look, 621.
This notification follows restoral of access privileges. Allmind provides a combat training simulator to support its mercenaries. Your license was in a suspended state. Perhaps you may need a refresher. As an added incentive, completion of the exercises will be rewarded with AC parts. You stand to benefit regardless.
Alright, so now we have access to sorting. So if you're not familiar with any mecha stuff, sorting, or even just like military stuff, sorting is just, you know, essentially leaving, like going, essentially gearing up and getting ready and leaving for a mission, right? So, yeah, AC design. We now have a new emblem. We now have AC data. And we now have a new piece of head. We have some new parts. Yep. Got essentially a whole sign. So what we're going to show you here is when we go to assembly, yes, you can customize your AC. So you can customize literally almost everything. So it's really cool. We don't have many, you know, guns or anything like that. So all the weapons are more or less going to stay the same. I think we have, do we have enough credits to, we don't have a store yet. Yeah, we don't have a store yet. So we don't really have too much, but what we can do is you can see we can change the headpieces from what we have. Now the stats are all, they're not something that I'm super, like, the most familiar with, but I have the basic understanding of all of them. So essentially, AP is the amount of health, altitude stability, or excuse me, attitude stability, and then we have system recovery. So the system recovery at the end of the day is more or less just how long it takes for you to recover, to my understanding. And I think that's altitude stability, which is, you know, especially when you're flying around. The one thing about this game that is much more apparent in comparison to something like Dark Souls or like Dark Souls or Elden Ring is the verticality. In those games, you don't really have to fight stuff while you're midair or something like that. This game, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of that. But yeah, you can see we have some new parts, and I actually think it's less weight, which is, weight's higher weight, but so the weight will obviously determine, you know, your ability to be able to launch yourself into the air. It'll also determine your ability to have the, you know, higher weight, you know, more armor points because it's a heavier, you know, more dense piece of gear. In addition to that, EN load means essentially how much energy it's going to be using. So the higher the EN load, basically when it comes to, like, you'll see generators and stuff like that, you want the ability to have a lot of energy, especially when you have a higher EN load because you're going to be using energy. So to have more energy to be able to pull from is huge. But I think for now, I think the head's pretty cool. I'm not, yeah, the chest is okay. I actually like the arms a good bit. And I think we'll keep the legs for the time being. We only have one booster set, only have one chip, and then we only have one generator. So there's nothing else we can change there. But what we can do, there's no expansion either. Can we do the paint? Yes. So What I'm going to do is, to make life easier, I usually just do the entire frame, especially for the Let's Play. I think what we'll do is, because we're Raven, right? So something black and red I think would be very appropriate. So I think black, that looks pretty cool. And then you can change the weathering too, which is really cool. We're going to make you pretty clean though. I like the clean ones more or less. How does red look here? Red's a little too, I think, too apparent here. So I think we'll keep it gray. I think most of this gray. Maybe the optional ones can be red. Yeah, that looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I think we'll do something like that. What about red for these ones as well? Yeah, I think having a little trickle of red, and then the device can also... I think I'll actually do purple for the device. Because I think that... I don't know, that just fits to me for some reason. And then we can do the units as well, which is really cool. So we'll do the device. Yeah, like that. Actually, wait, what was the purple that we used? I think like this, I think. Yep. Oh, whoops. No, all units. Whoops. I am dumb. I am the dumb. But you can see how cool this will get over time, like, especially as we get more parts, more weapons and stuff like that. Just really, really awesome. I think just making most of it black. Yeah. Making most of this, if not all of it, black. And maybe just doing these in red. Yeah, just doing some tasteful bits in red. Yeah, I think that looks pretty damn cool. For our first AC right now, I don't think we're struggling all too much. And then weathering, I think for the units would be better, because I think weathering on a gun makes more sense than weathering on the actual... Well, do we want to do some weathering on the body? Just a little bit? Yeah, just a little bit, yeah. For our first one, to make it look a little rugged. I think we have a pretty good looking AC right now. So we can save them. The other thing is, when we go to... So, going to decals, you can add decals. I don't really care to. Maybe on just the side of the head. Because we have the Raven one, we might as well add... Might as well add the Raven ones, right, I guess? Yeah, I'll just add Raven ones. Oh, yeah, you have an image editor very similar to, like, you've seen me play Need for Speed. Very similar to, like, the decal editors in those games as well. Do that on either side. I think we're good there. Then AC data. So what you can do is you can add presets here. So what we're probably going to do is we'll just add a preset right here, and we'll just do, God, what should we name this one? New Beginnings. Yeah, and then we can also change the AC name. We could do first landing. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Right? But yes, and then you can view it, and then you can just reload your presets. So it's really cool. And there's multiple users, so you can have up to was it 4x4? So 40. So 4x4 is 64. So 640 essentially. Well, no, sorry, 40. Yeah, 40, 80, 120, 160. So 160. Sorry, 60. I don't know why I was thinking exponents. I don't know why I was thinking that, but yeah, very cool. We have all these, and you can set multiple presets and preload all of your presets, which is really awesome depending on what missions you're going into. And yeah, I think that is the major stuff out of the way. And I think at 30 minutes, I'm going to try and keep these episodes around 30 to 40 minutes, and I'd like to keep them closer to 30. And I think with our first mission out of the way, me showing you the customization, some of the basic mechanics of this game, I think think that is it for the video. And so next time on Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, we will be continuing building our name up as a mercenary, and also maybe doing some of the tutorial stuff, because she said, or at least All Mine said, that we would be rewarded with AC parts, and of course, who doesn't want more AC parts to work with? And so I hope you guys look forward to the next episode. And so I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Also follow me in the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.
High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives.